Hey everybody, this is John, and let's take a quick look here at the S&Ps. And this is the trade I like to do the third Friday of every month. So first off, you start off with the daily chart of the S&Ps, and I like to see where the 21 period moving average is, which is right now at 29.65, and then +1 ATR and -1 ATR from that level. All right, and if we zoom in here, we'll get to see those levels. And you can see that's 3006 to the upside, and then 29.24 to the downside. All right, and so what we're looking for here is that those are essentially going to kind of contain the move. I'm not expecting much of a move tomorrow. I think we're going to actually kind of hug this level. So then the question is, what are the key levels then that are going to be driving that behavior and price action for tomorrow? And that's where we come in with the point of control. And there are 3 levels of point of control that you want to take a look at. All right, so we've got the monthly, which is here in blue, all right, and that's 29.90. You got the weekly, which is right here at 29.97, and then the daily will set up tomorrow. But typically what will happen is that we'll gravitate back towards that monthly point of control for expiration. Okay, and then how do you take advantage of that? All right, so the easiest way to take advantage of that is with SPX options. And as you guys know, Thinkorswim has actually now waived all the settlement fees here. And unlike the spiders, these are cash settled, okay? That means once you put it on, you don't actually have to close it out. Wherever it closes, that money is just deposited in your account if you're profitable, or whatever amount you paid for it. If it doesn't work out, of course, you would just lose that. So you just structure trades that are pretty cheap. So here we are at 29.97. I'm going to come over here and just say, great, I could do a butterfly, just buy a butterfly here at 29.90, and you can see here for a 40-cent debit, and basically on a 10-lot trade, my max risk is $400 against a max profit of $4,600. And that's the trade that we'll be looking at tomorrow. If you guys are in our trading room, I'll be walking that through with you step by step live there in the morning. From there, we want to look at timing. All right, so if you guys don't know what timing is, we've got some huge timing coming up in the S&Ps, and let's take a look at that real quick. So there's a concept I want to share with you. If you have not heard about it before, it's pretty fascinating. So I'll show you a couple of examples. So this is the S&P last year, September 20th, 2018. Market's trending higher. Everything looks great. The momentum has changed. You know, the idea here is great. Let's buy the next pullback because we're going to make new highs, right? Because that's what it looks like. So what happened in reality? And in reality, you can see that that was actually the dead high. And from there, the S&Ps fell over 500 points. Okay. And so, yeah, in hindsight, that's certainly easy to look at, but the question is how do we know right there that there's a significantly increased chance that that's going to reverse? Because there's no signal here, right? There's no really signal in the volume. Yeah, there's a spike there, but then it goes right back to normal, so that's not a signal. So if you're familiar with Carolyn Boroden, and she, one of our traders here at Simpler, she is a master at what is called timing sequences. Okay, which is this crazy stuff that when I first learned it from her, I was like, okay, there is no way that that can work. And then for a while, I would ignore it, and every time I ignored it, it would hit me upside the head. And then I started paying attention to it, and I was like, oh my gosh. So what happens here? So she measures time against price, and suddenly when you start getting a spike in these readings, and you can see here the spike happened on the 21st and 22nd of September, then you know, and by the way, this does not happen after the fact. These numbers come up weeks in advance, okay? Weeks in advance. This is not hindsight. Then you know there's an incredibly high probability that the markets will reverse at that point, okay? That's what sequential time and price means. And whether it's an index or something like gold or anything like that, or individual stock, the same concept applies. So here is Amazon. You know, it looks amazing. Oh my gosh, let's buy the next pullback because obviously it's going higher. And then we look, and that ended up being the dead high. And from there, Amazon dropped hundreds of points. Okay. Well, guess what? The same thing happened here on Amazon, where we got these spikes here, and we get those spikes, again, weeks in advance, especially when it crosses the red zone there, the odds increase exponentially of a reversal, okay? There is nothing else to confirm that. There's no stochastics, there's no RAF, there's no voodoo line. It's an out-of-the-blue reversal that ends up being one of the more important reversals because after the fact, and so everybody always looks after the fact and say, oh yeah, I should have seen that. No, you won't see this unless you know this work. For a recent example of this in Amazon, you can see that we had basically price and low timing here. I saw that in advance. Now, Amazon's kind of scary because if you're going to say, oh, it's a $1,700 stock, I'm going to buy an in-the-money put, or sorry, an in-the-money call, it's like $40, right? So I could buy 10 of those at $40, and if it didn't work, I could have a huge amount of money at risk. But if it did work, I'd make money. So how do you do something like that? So we actually had a couple of instances of timing in Amazon. So the first one we did, this was just kind of a simple one, looking for a bounce. We bought a butterfly for $3.40, sold it 5 days later for $8.77. So it was a nice 157% gain. I did that with a 10-lot trade, 10 lot. And then the one that popped up a couple of weeks ago, we had a couple of things come into place. So not only did we have timing, but we also had price and a couple of other things that we'll talk about during the class, which were pretty amazing. So in this case, I actually did a 100-lot trade. So 5 here and 95 here. And then this turned into buying these at $3.47, selling them at $13.81. It turned into a $100,000 trade in profits, a 300% gain in just 6 trading days. This is the kind of stuff that's pretty fantastic, simply because, you know, it's not your normal like, oh yes, there's a squeeze, everybody can see it. The only people who can see this are the ones that understand how timing is calculated, how to use it, and how to read it, and period end. So if this is a new concept for you, or you're excited about it, or you want to brush up on the skill, we're going to be doing a timing mastery class. So high probability Fibonacci trading formulas focused on timing with myself, Carolyn, Henry, and Danielle. We're going to have a strategy class where you'll have instant online access for this. We're going to have 2 live trading days on October 22nd and 24th. Plus, there's an option where you can join us in Las Vegas in person for a live trading day on November 6th. Let's take a look at these. So if you go to the link, simplertrading.com/mastery, just give it a second to load, it'll come up to a class information page where you will see information on the class and you will see these options, okay? If you would like the strategy class and see how to do it on your own, that's just, as you're seeing this, it's just $397. So you'll get the extended strategy class and recorded trading sessions, and you'll get these instantaneously. And as a bonus, you're going to get the Fibonacci 101 course. That way, if you're not really sure what Fibonacci is, this will get you up to speed before you jump into the little bit more advanced work that we cover in this recorded trading session. Now, the one that I would recommend the most is the one package that includes live trading. So with this one, you get all of this plus 2 days of live tradings split up between the 4 of us. And again, the nice thing about this is that while you're reading through something and it sounds good in theory, nothing beats practical hands-on application. Not only watching us do trades live, but as you're doing trades, you can ask us questions and you can of course follow along in what you're doing. And then the Elite package is fun because with the Elite package you get of course everything here and everything here, but then you also get the tax loss harvest live trading. That's a $297 class that we hold at the end of the year. We've done it every year for 10 years, and 10 years out of 10 years we've made money on it. It's a very unique thing that happens once a year. Not a lot of people know about it, but it's an amazing time to trade and just do these little simple trades. And then it also includes the Live Vegas live trading day. If you're going there on your own, it costs $9.97. Well, guess what? With this, you get also access to everything. So anyway, it's pretty amazing. It's a real good way to kind of start tying in as we get into Q4 here, all the different trading that's coming along. We're going to get more and more volatile as we get closer to things like elections, and the timing that comes into play here is critical for not getting run over by a freight train in these markets and not being taken by surprise. All right? You guys have a fantastic night, and for those of you that are going to do this, looking forward to working with you during the live trading and even potential seeing you in Las Vegas. Have a great night.